Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to an all-new Talkin' Movies. As always, I am your host, the real Gino Reynolds, and today we're going to be talking about The Curse of La Llorona. Now, to best explain the legend of La Llorona, I'm going to read you a message that was sent to me from one of my favorite viewers, Desiree. She says this: "It's a story passed down for generations from parents to children. The gist of the story is beautiful. Woman marries a wealthy man. They have children. He decides to leave her for a younger, even more beautiful woman, and in a fit of rage, she pushes her children in a river. Realizing what she's done, she calls out to them, but it's too late. She then also drowns herself, but her spirit is restless. Her ghost proceeds to try and find her children, calling out to them. If she sees any children out at night, especially near bodies of water, she takes them. So it's a cautionary tale parents tell their kids so they don't wander, stay out late at night, or La Llorona will get them." With this movie, they do show this at the beginning. There's one minor change, at least what the movie shows. The La Llorona, the weeping woman, what it means. In the movie, she kills the children. I don't think it sounds like the legend is she pushes them in and they drown. And in the movie, she drowns them. So that's a big change from the legend. Here's my issue with this movie, though. This movie feels like every other movie produced by James Wan. It feels like a Conjuring movie. I mean, granted, if you saw the title, you understand why. But it feels too much like a Conjuring movie. And that's not to say that this is a terrible movie. It has the look and feel of a Conjuring film. You know, that's not a bad thing, but there's nothing really original that makes it interesting. I mean, just hearing that legend alone makes it sound like they could have done something cool. But with this, it's just, well, this is the ghost. The ghost is haunting. You know, and it goes through the motions of like a lot of these movies do. Even though I love the two Conjuring movies and I like the second Annabelle, I wasn't a big fan of the Nun or the first Annabelle. But it feels too much like something. The La Llorona, the story is cool of La Llorona, but the movie is just like, well, she's the ghost. I would say that till about, in some ways, halfway through. It just felt like every other movie, and even the second half did as well. And I'll get to the second half of the movie in a bit. But yeah, once again, you saw the title. So, surprise, this is a movie in the Conjuring universe. In the movie, Father Perez, played by Tony Amendola, shows up. And it's like, wait a minute, that's Father Perez. And so you have that character, and then he starts telling the main character, the mother, played by Linda Cardellini, the story of how he had his hands on this doll, and then they show a clip from Annabelle. So it's like, hey, it's in the Conjuring universe. Also, the church, when she's talking to Father Perez later in the movie, is like, well, the church does look into these things, but normally it takes time to get people here to look at them. So whether it's referring to the Warrens or just the church getting involved, it's like, well, they'll take a long time to get here, but there's this local guy. And we'll get to the local guy in a minute because he was the best part of the movie. But up until then, the movie just feels like every other Conjuring movie. But the problem is, one of the big problems is, a lot of the characters are making stupid decisions throughout the entire movie just to keep the movie going. There is a trope where, a character will say what they've seen and no one will believe them or whatever. But in this movie, they don't even get that chance because nobody is talking. First, the little boy gets attacked, and second, the daughter gets attacked. And then the mother starts seeing things, but nobody's talking. So that just extends the movie. Granted, the movie's only like an hour and a half long. You would think, I guess it'd be a lot shorter if they talked, but it seems like characters are making dumb decisions throughout their other movie, and I'll talk about the dumbest decision here in a minute. But this really, and I mean, we'll get into spoiler territory there. So if you don't want the movie spoiled, just know that this is a rental at best. I will say that. So I'm going to start talking a little bit about spoilers now. So you have characters making dumb decisions. And this is not faulting the child actors in this. The acting from the kids was fine. They did a good job. The thing is, it's what they make kids do in these movies. There's a part of this movie where they get help, and I guess I'll go into this character as well. Raymond Cruz, who was Tuco on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, he plays this former priest. They call him a shaman, and he kind of is like an independent investigator, and they get his help whenever they go to the church, and they said, well, it's going to take a while to get help, but there's this local guy, so they get his help. And by the way, Raymond Cruz, best part of the movie. And the way he leaves at the end, you could tell that he's going to have another adventure sometime. He supposedly lives in this town, and the way he's jumping in a cab, it just looks like he's going off to his next mission. So I could see them using him again somewhere. But they get his help, and he has all these things to use that are from remnants of like this tree and seeds from this tree that would stop La Llorona from entering the house and everything. So he sets these seeds by the door, and it's working. La Llorona is not coming in. And so then what do? Well, La Llorona somehow got the little girl's doll outside, and the little girl knows that these seeds are what's protecting them, but she's just got to go for that doll. And then she gets the doll, and she doesn't mess up the seeds until her mother says something to her, say, get back in the house. And she goes, it's okay, I didn't break the seal, and rubs the doll right across the seal. And of course, La Llorona comes in and starts laying waste to them again. So it was dumb. It was just really dumb. The ending was somewhat satisfying with how they handled defeating La Llorona, even though it was a little generic. And the ending of the movie, I mean, they do sit on a reflection shot in some water that you're supposed to think, well, is she really gone? And I mean, she's gone. I mean, I can't see them making another movie. It'd be the same movie if they made another one. So it's like they took what could have been a really good idea, and it just turned out to be generic. That was my biggest problem with it. Again, I didn't hate this movie. I liked it way better than The Nun. That's not saying much. I would still put it at the bottom. I can't remember if I can't really tell you if I'd like it more than the first Annabelle or not, as I haven't watched that movie again for, ever since I saw it in the theater. But I would still put it at the bottom. It's definitely not as good as Annabelle 2 or the two Conjuring movies. So yeah, I would like to see Raymond Cruz play his character again. Of course, we're probably going to get Father Perez again sometime. But other than that, this movie's it's generic. It feels like someone, James Wan is producing this, so it feels like someone's like trying to make a James Wan movie like James Wan without with not having him on set. It's a James Wan movie that James Wan didn't direct. But it's a fine movie. It's fine. It's a rental though. I just didn't feel the scares were original. They were very predictable. And there really isn't with who the ghost is. I mean, though the story behind the ghost is cool, there was just nothing that the ghost did that was really anything we haven't kind of already seen before. And then, yeah, surprise, it's in the Conjuring universe. I don't know if they just wanted that to be a surprise or if they didn't feel this one was good enough or what, but I mean, I'm willing to bet on the surprise thing. Like that's just a nice little Easter egg or something. So yeah, there's really not much more I can say about this movie. I think those looking for a really cool La Llorona movie, like I know Desiree was looking forward to, I don't think you're going to get it out of this one. I think you might enjoy it. And I can see people getting enjoyment out of this movie. For me personally, though, I've already seen movies like this too much, where if you're not going to offer anything new, then I'm just gonna I can't find anything special in the movie because you're not offering me anything special. That's gonna be all for this edition of Talkin' Movies. If you like what you've heard here, please subscribe to the Real Gino YouTube channel, like this video, and if you have anything to say about the Curse of La Llorona, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. Until next time, I'm your host, the Real Gino, Gino Reynolds. See you later.